Okay, got a lot to squeeze in a minute. I'm Eric Rouse, and as you can tell, I am from Eastern North Carolina by my accent. I lived here for 46 years. When I went to school at East Carolina University, I met my wife, brought her back home to Kinston. We started raising our family. I've got a little girl, she's 16. Her name's Anna, and I got a little boy, his name's Magnum, he's 11. I currently have 5 businesses that I own and operate. I grew up farming. Until the age of about 15, my dad started his electrical business, and ended up I would get in the truck in the morning and ride a couple hours to go to work, so I know how to work. I have been fortunate enough, Joey Carter, some of y'all might know him, has endorsed me. He's the hog farmer that's getting sued by the lawyers out of Texas, which is something we need to address. I will tell you this, politicians make a lot of promises. I will tell you this, I promise you I will protect the unborn and the born now. I think that's horrifying that we even have to say something like that. And that's it. So, Rouse for the house. Thank you for your time.
We feel over those promises to getting something accomplished in a fine nights.
Well, in Eastern North Carolina, we have everything that we need to bond people together. We've got veterans, we've got military, and we've got agriculture. And being a commissioner in Lenoir County on the losing side, in the minority party, I've learned how to work with the other side. And you got to find common ground. You not only have to listen to them, but you got to hear what they're saying. And you got to understand them. You got to find that common ground. You're not going to go in there and bully somebody or raise sand and get your way. You're going to have to learn to work with people. And you got to be able to, like I said, hear what they're saying and to get things accomplished. In Lenoir County, I'm very proud. Even though I'm in the minority, I've been put on some of the most promising boards, transportation, North Carolina Association of County Commissioners. And I've gotten things done. I got concealed carry on certain county properties. I've gotten roads paved. And that comes from listening and be able to understand who you're dealing with. I don't lie, I tell the truth. And I believe, you might not like what I'm saying, but I truly, honestly think you appreciate my honesty. That's it. That's what happened. Most of y'all have seen my commercial by now. Lord knows I spend enough money trying to get it out to you. But I support the president. The name of the commercial is Flip the Switch, and that's what Trump did. He flipped the switch when he got elected. And he got the economy going. We got to keep that going. We got to keep him in there. We got to support the president every way we can. The deficit's a problem. We need a balanced budget, and the tariffs are an evil right now that we have to deal with. The farmers recognize this, but they realize we got to go through this process in order to get a reset. And to put it in layman's terms, if I were to hand you $1 and I asked you to hand me back 50 cents, how long would you do that? You do that all day long, every day. And that's what's happening to America right now. We're handing these other countries $1 and they're giving us back 50 cents. And tariffs are a way for us to reset the playing field. Once we get rid of them and get complete free trade, then we can compete. Because America can outproduce anybody. We've proven that over and over again, that when it's a truly free environment and there's no tariffs, then we can compete. Thank you. Well, I've spent a little bit of time down here, and I talked with Will Etheridge at length, and he assured me there's no shortage of fish out there. Matter of fact, he told me the other day, the guy got his yearly quota in 22 hours on this particular species. What we do need to do, we need to address Currituck. It's a death trap. I think there's been 60-some sailors been lost out there. There's one turn in it, it's called Hell's Gate. Now, why do you think it got that name? It's because it's that bad. Back in the 70s, early 70s, jetties were approved. We need to put those jetties in so it'll open it up and we don't have to dredge it every year to try and keep it open. We need to get the jetties in there. Wilmington's down to bedrock, can't dredge any deeper there. Moorhead doesn't have the land mass to support a new port. But right here, you guys are sitting on an economic explosion. If we can get that channel opened up through there with the jetties, it will open up this whole area for economic development. You're talking about a game changer for North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina, and this Pacific region. I'd like to apologize, I named the wrong end earlier. Got a little warmed up, so Oregon. So apologize for that. Okay, what do we do about immigration? We got to build a wall. We know this. We can't address DACA. We can't do anything until we know who's coming across the border. Even the Democrats on the left side are starting to see that and recognize it now. I can say this, my mother's an immigrant, my best friend who just passed away is an immigrant from South Africa. They tell me, they said, Eric, we did it the right way. It can be done. You know, they should have to do it the right way. when the illegals come across the border now, that adds to our Social Security system, that adds to our medical system, our policing system and everything, and just burdens the country down. So we need to get control of the border. We need to be able to control who comes through it, send them to the farms that they need to work on or the jobs they need to do. We need to take the best that other countries can offer us, not just everybody. We need to make sure there's a proven benefit to the United States when they come across, and we need to vet them and track them.
Right. Agriculture is the state's #1 industry, contributing $87 billion to the state's economy. What would you do to support the state's #1 industry in commerce?
Well, we got to remember that is small business. Just like all the fishermen that head out in the inlet, each one of those boats is a small business. We need to look after our farmers in all aspects. And it being the primary economic generator for North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina, we got to look after them. We have to protect them. We've got to get these trade tariffs off us, where our farmers can go in and produce like they know they can. We don't need the government regulations. We don't need the bureaucracy. These tariffs right now are a necessary evil to get us to that point where we can trade freely. And once we can get the free trade going and our farmers producing, nobody can keep up with it.
What do you see as the future of Social Security, including any changes or new approaches that you feel may be necessary going forward?
Okay, we made a promise to our senior citizens that it would be there, so we've got to honor that. But it does go back to the wall, and the reason it goes back to the wall is we need to know who's coming over the border. And if we know who's coming over the border, we can track them, and we can put let's say, an immigrant work tax on them. And we can treat them like little tax engines for our Social Security system, where they're generating Social Security tax, they're generating FICA tax, they're generating additional taxes that go to help support our Social Security. But they do not get credited for it until they become U.S. citizens. And then they could start accruing towards themselves. But in the meantime, we could use that for the Social Security system. Now, what I would like to see is privatization of some portion of Social Security for the younger generation so that they can select qualified plans, high risk, low risk, medium risk, so that they can take their destiny in their own hand and have a program that they own. They own, let's say, 50% of their Social Security, and they'll own it. So the government can't come in there and rate it because they'll be in control. They'll own it. They cannot come back and get it before it's time to retire. So they can only draw on it once it's time to retire. Try to get it all. Okay. Well, I learned a long time ago, if you don't ask, you can't get. I only ask for your vote. I need your support. I need it badly. I never got an opportunity to address veterans. We've got a situation. Eastern North Carolina is the base capital of the United States, it seems like. But we don't have a veterans hospital that's here. We've got a veterans hospital that's over there in Fayetteville. We need a veterans hospital in Eastern North Carolina. It makes sense. And we also need, which I'm sure these doctors will agree on board, we need portability for our veterans and our military where they can go outside the VA. Let's face it, not all the best people and doctors are going to be in the VA system. There's specialists outside of it, and our veterans need to be able to go and access the quality services that are available outside the VA system. My name is Eric Rouse. It's rousefforthehouse.com. I encourage you to go to my website and I humbly ask for your vote because I do need it and it will count in this election. Thank you very much.